After a long day of work, most people don't actually relax. They stop working, but their mind doesn't. Thoughts continue running, unfinished tasks, small frustrations, things that didn't go as planned. And without realizing it, this mental tension quietly carries into the night. That is how stress builds up, not from one big event, but from small, unresolved pressure repeated every day. In Japan, despite a demanding work culture, many people, especially older adults, have developed simple evening habits that help them release that stress before it accumulates. These habits are not complicated. They don't require much time. But they create a clear boundary between the end of work and the beginning of rest. And over time, that boundary makes a significant difference. The first habit is taking a slow, intentional walk after the day ends. In many Japanese neighborhoods, it's common to see people walking quietly in the evening. Not with headphones, not checking their phones, not rushing anywhere. Just walking. This kind of movement helps the body transition out of a high-alert state. During the day, especially at work, the nervous system is constantly stimulated. Walking slowly sends a different signal. It tells the body that the pressure is over. Breathing becomes deeper. Muscles begin to relax. The heart rate stabilizes. But more importantly, it creates mental distance. Problems from the day start to feel less intense when you are no longer sitting in the same environment where they happened. The second habit is bathing, but in a very different way than most people think about it. In Japan, the evening bath is not just for hygiene. It is a daily reset. Warm water has a direct calming effect on the nervous system. It reduces muscle tension, slows down the heart rate, and helps the body move into a more relaxed state. But the real value is in the pause it creates. For 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes, there is nothing else to do. No notifications, no conversations, no responsibilities. Just stillness. And in that stillness, the mind naturally begins to slow down. This is something many people are missing. They finish work, but they never give their mind a moment to fully stop. The third habit is reducing stimulation as the night progresses. In many modern lifestyles, the evening is filled with screens, phones, news, social media, constant input. This keeps the brain active even when the body is already tired. In contrast, many Japanese evening routines gradually lower stimulation. Lights become softer. Activities become quieter. There is less urgency to respond to everything immediately. This allows the brain to shift into a different mode. When stimulation is reduced, the body begins preparing for rest. Sleep comes more naturally. And when sleep improves, the body is able to recover from stress more effectively. The fourth habit is how dinner is handled. In Japan, dinner is often simple, moderate, and not rushed. It is not treated as a time to overeat or compensate for a stressful day. Heavy meals late at night can increase stress on the body. Digestion continues for hours, which can interfere with sleep quality. Over time, this reduces the body's ability to recover. By keeping meals balanced and not overly heavy, the body can rest more efficiently. But there is also a mental effect. Eating slowly, without distraction, gives the mind another chance to slow down. It becomes part of the transition from activity to rest. The fifth habit is having a small moment of quiet before sleep. This does not need to be formal meditation. In many cases, it is something very simple, sitting quietly, organizing something small, preparing for the next day, or just reflecting for a few minutes. What matters is the pause. Without this moment, the mind often carries unfinished thoughts into sleep. And even if the body rests, the mind continues working in the background. With this habit, the day feels more complete. There is a sense of closure. And that reduces the amount of mental tension carried into the next day. Another subtle habit that often goes unnoticed is consistency in evening timing. Many Japanese adults tend to follow a relatively stable rhythm, finishing dinner, bathing, and going to bed at similar times each day. This consistency helps regulate the body's internal clock. When the body knows when to slow down, it does so more efficiently. Sleep becomes deeper. recovery becomes more effective. And over time, the overall level of stress in the body decreases. Irregular evenings, on the other hand, confuse the system. Some nights are overstimulated, some are rushed, some are too late. This inconsistency prevents the body from fully recovering. And then stress begins to accumulate. There is also a deeper principle behind all of these habits. They are not designed to escape stress. They are designed to process it. Many people try to distract themselves at the end of the day, scrolling, watching, consuming more content. But distraction does not remove stress. It only delays it. The Japanese approach is different. Instead of adding more input, it reduces input. Instead of speeding up, it slows down. And in that slower state, the body and mind are able to release what has built up during the day. For people in their 40s, 50s, or beyond, this becomes especially important. You don't need to follow all of them perfectly. Even 1 or 2 changes can make a noticeable difference. A short walk after work. A warm shower or bath without distraction. Turning off screens earlier. Eating a little slower. Taking 5 quiet minutes before sleep. These actions are small. But when repeated every evening, they begin to change how your body responds to stress. Because in the end, relaxation is not something that automatically happens when the day ends. It is something you create. And sometimes, the most effective way to reduce stress is not by doing more, but by doing less, more intentionally, at the right time, every day.